How you doing, guys? I'm back with another collection update video. I got three piles of stuff I'm going to show you. Basically, we got budget stuff, stuff that I haven't watched yet, and things that I've watched. So we're going to start this off with the budget stuff. And first up, we got this 5-movie box set. Now, it's titled Bloodfest, but the movies on here are actually The Thirsty Dead, Sisters of Death, House by the Cemetery, Bloody Wednesday, and The Hatchet Murders, which is basically Deep Red. This is like the 100-minute version of Deep Red. I took the movies out of the box already. Can't even open this thing up now with nothing in it. My wife picked this up from me at Value Village, and honestly, had I been there, I would have stopped her because she paid too much money for this. But you know, a gift's a gift. Anyways, all right. So the movies are housed in this cardboard thing here. Just the back here is the side. The nice thing about this set is that the films are on their own disc, which is cool. I did pop one of them in and check out the quality, and that was House by the Cemetery. And I think it may have been sourced from Laserdisc, but it's not anamorphic, so the picture is really stretched out and like extreme letterboxed. So I don't know. Like, I don't really own a decent copy of House by the Cemetery, but I'll pick one up one day, but definitely won't rely on this set. Alright, next up we have a 3-movie set. And it has Terminal Velocity, Firebirds, and Bad Company. The main reason why I got this set was for Firebirds. I was watching one of Gavin's collection of videos, and he showed this. And I remember I really enjoyed that Firebirds back in the day, and I really wanted to own this movie on DVD. It stars Nicolas Cage, Sean Young, and Tommy Lee Jones. It's kind of like a Top Gun, but with military helicopters instead of like the jets. Terminal Velocity is so-so. I always preferred Drop Zone. This movie here is kind of a parachuting action film, but Drop Zone did it better in my opinion. And I don't remember much from Bad Company other than that was a 90s movie. Right, next up, we have a 20 movie pack, and this is the Undead Vampire Collection. I picked this one up because this was another Mills Creek release, and I was hoping that some of the transfers would be decent. Now I'll go through these movies really quickly, the 20 films. We got Adam, Age Vampire, The Bat, Blood of Dracula's Castle, The Bloody Vampire, Count Dracula and His Vampire Brides, Crypt of the Living Dead, The Devil Bat, Horrible Sexy Vampire, Horror Express, Ironbound Vampire, The Last Man on Earth, Nightmare Castle, Nosferatu, Primeval, Terror Creatures from the Grave, The Vampire Bat, Vampire Happening, Vampire Knight's Orgy, and The Werewolf vs. Vampire Woman, and then the last one, The Witch's Mountain. I was hoping this was going to be cool. I popped in Terror Creatures from the Grave, and it's like VHS quality. So I'm assuming the rest of these things are all like that VHS type look to it, which is fine. But then I opened it up, and you can see here the movies are housed on these sleeves. There's like 5 films per disc. Not really excited about that. I hate the styling. Alright, and last up for the budget releases, and this was a gift from my good friend Mike, and it's the Ray Bradbury Theater, and this is actually the complete series, seasons 1 through 6. I remember watching this on cable all the time back in the day, back in the 80s. I really enjoyed this thing a lot. I think they're like half-hour episodes. It's kind of like a horror science fiction thing. Now, originally I didn't. My first version I actually had this sealed, but I kept messing up. So here you get the disc here. I don't know if each disc is like a season or whatever. I think there's 5 discs. So let me just pop through. You can see here we got Jeff Goldblum and Drew Barrymore, Peter O'Toole, and William Shatner on this disc. And I can't remember that guy's name, but there's Donald Pleasance. It's John Saxon. That one. There's Elliot Gould. And this last one here, I can't recognize those actors, but I don't know. Hopefully the quality in these things are all right. I'll pull these things all out of sequence now. That's the first one, right? right by the theater. Alright, now on to the regular pickups. These are ones I haven't watched. We got Bach. I always wanted this release. This was like the first steelbook that I ever saw. I think this came out like 9 years ago or whatever. Picked this one up at Cash Converters for a couple dollars. Go there. I haven't seen any of the Tony Jaa movies, so hopefully this is decent. Alright, next we got Blood the Last Vampire. This is the live action version. I remember watching the animated movie from like a while ago, and I was always curious about this one. Hopefully it's decent. I don't know. Alright. Next up we have Stage Fright. I don't think this is a remake because I have the other one from the 80s. This is like a horror musical. I think they're at some kind of band camp and there's someone killing people. I don't know. That's kind of interesting. It's got Minnie Driver, and Meatloaf. Alright, now on to the films that I actually did watch. Alright, we got Nobody Can Cool. This is a movie that I really, really wanted, and I was so disappointed when I actually sat down and actually watched it. On IMDb, sometimes like I'll read the reviews for movies as I pick up, and every once in a while somebody will make a comment saying, hey, don't believe any reviews you've been reading. These are people that obviously made the movie trying to talk up their movie. Now this film had a really high rating when I picked it up. I think it was an 8. I think it was over an 8. And so I picked it up, watched it, and this movie probably should have been rated like a 4. Basically they have this young couple and they're going on some kind of weekend retreat to this cabin. And when they get to the cabin, there's people already in their cabin. And they make out some deal to like just say, look, you know, we'll stay the night and then we'll figure this shit out in the morning. But it turns out the people that were already in the cabin had robbed some store or something like that. And there was like a small little case of money they're trying to break into, and it's just all jacked up. Like this film, I think the problem with this film is the people that made it were more concerned with making a movie instead of making a good movie. Because it's just jacked. I don't know. It's not even worth. Stay away from this film. All right. Next up, we got Comforting Skin. Now this is a really cool Canadian movie. Just watched this the other day, and this is about a young girl who's mentally unstable, and I guess she's got out of an institution, but she gets this tattoo, and then she starts having a hard time, and her tattoo kind of comes to life. And it's like moving all over her body and stuff, and it's talking to her, and it's making her feel good about herself. But that doesn't last long, and shit goes downhill from there. This is a pretty cool movie. There's like a lot of nudity in it, but it's not gratuitous. It's funny in some scenes, tripping in other. I actually really enjoyed it. The only thing is with this movie is that it's very obvious that she's psychotic. You know, I just kind of wish that tattoo actually really was alive, and there'd be this really cool scene where the person's checking her out and the shit moves or whatever. That would have been really cool, but I still enjoyed it for what it was. Okay, next up we have Stoker, and this one really surprised me. I really liked this movie a lot. This one was actually written by what's his name? The guy from Prison Break, Wentworth Miller. He did the screenplay for this, and basically this is about a family who have just lost the husband and the father. So basically you got Nicole Kidman and Mia Wasikowska, and they were kind of living together when the uncle shows up right after the dad has died, and there's something wrong with him, and there's something wrong with somebody else in the family as well. This movie is really, really cool, and there's a lot of imagery with spiders and stuff in this film. And this one was directed by the director that made Old Boy. And this film has beautiful cinematography. In fact, I'd like to see that director make a slasher film, because this is kind of like, it's got slasher elements in it. Yeah, it's really, really cool. This is Park Chan-wook. So yeah, he should definitely make a slasher film, because I really enjoy that. And last up for this update, we have Dream Home, and this one had been on my want list for a very long time. This is an IFC midnight release. This is a Chinese movie, and it's about a woman who really wants to get this apartment, but she can't because it's too expensive. So what she decides to do is she decides to kill everybody in the apartment, or most, not everybody, but a good section of the people that live there, to try to bring the property values down. This movie is really, really awesome. It's got great kills. It's very, very gory. Check this one out if you can, if you haven't already. Alright guys, that's my update. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you all later.